All right, my dudes, welcome back to another Movie Monday. We have made it. It's Monday, and I'm finally talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new film that came out 2022. Yeah. How did I feel about this film? Okay, number one, it was okay. It was okay. I'm going to start off by saying I love Leatherface as a character. Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 74 has always been, I think, one of my top fave horror films. Yeah, he's creepy. The whole concept is weird. Very Ed Gein-ish, you know, you got this crazy family living in this little home, and I love how, like, they're all working together as, like, a little town slash, again, family to, like, get them to come and take them as victims and, like, just mess with them. It's always hit me more as a random act of violence movie, which is why the new one, I think, didn't really, like, I didn't love it, the story behind it, or, like, how they brought it back. So they get all these kids together, and these kids are driving to this cool ghost town, and this cool ghost town, they're, like, investing in it or something, trying to make it all hip. I don't know, I feel like the Montrealers use the word gentrifying an area. Or so, they're going to gentrify where freaking Leatherface lives. Anyways, so they go into this town, and right away they go into one of the buildings. I thought it was pretty neat. It reminded me of, like, old Hollywood or, like, saloon style type stuff, but again, just like an old town. And they go in, and there's this really old lady, and they're like, ma'am, like, you shouldn't even be here. Like, we're doing a deal here today, and, like, we got people coming. And she's, like, holding, like, this weird, like, defib type, I don't know, kind of machine, friggin' air sucking machine, giving her air or whatever. And you can kind of see, like, at one point, it's obviously Leatherface who's, like, coming. She's like, no, son, like, I don't need you. It's fine. You know, go back. They don't want any trouble. And of course they wanted trouble. Let's be real. Yeah, so all these kids are coming in, basically taking this town from under them and turning it into some hip kind of thing. So that was an interesting concept. I didn't love it, you know, in a sense. I didn't love that that's how modern they took it, in a sense. Like, I would have loved this to have been more of a road trip. Again, accident, whoops, the house still exists kind of vibe. I would have loved that. But yeah, so this took that kind of side rail. Anyways, so right away, the best part about this movie, I'm going to spoil it a little, enjoy. You guys have probably seen it, let's be real. The best part was right away at the beginning. So they all kind of, this happens, they meet the lady, they tell the lady she's got to go, and boom, she literally starts, like, heaving. They're like, fuck, we got to get this chick in, like, an ambulance. Like, she's on the verge of dying. Leatherface, like, comes down and, like, goes in the truck with her, right? Because he doesn't want her to die. He's trying to, like, help her out. And one of the girls, I forget how many characters there are. This is just a bunch of young people. Anyways, there's, like, two main important ones, and the rest, it's like, okay. So this one girl goes in the ambulance, like, no, you guys stay. You guys are important. You guys are dealing, there's a dude, he was also dealing with the deal with, you know, selling or buying that area and making it hip. Anyways, so this random girl goes in the ambulance type thing with them, like with the cops, and it's the best scene ever, guys. They're all sitting there, and all of a sudden the woman's at, like, TKO, you know, like, she's done. The old lady's done. Leatherface's mom is done. You just see Leatherface go, grabs the cop, goes like, pop, breaks his hand, goes, duh, right in the jugular. I was like, oh my God, I have faith for horror again. It's so rare that they show that kind of creativity. You know, normally you're just choking out people, stabbing people, but I was like, yes. That was, like, my favorite part of the movie. If that says it. Like, I was so happy. You know, there's moments where, you know, coming from an FX background too, I'm just like, this is so cool, you know? After that, obviously everything goes to shit. And, like, you know, the cop dies. She's still kind of alive, trying to pretend she's not. And there's also this wicked scene where you see Leatherface peeling off the other dude's face. which as a mask maker, I call him Texas. I do make the Leatherface mask and lipstick. It's like his alter ego of like the pretty woman. But looking at that mask and just showing how they showed how he takes the face, how he puts it on, I'm like, pretty cool. And it's a cool design. I won't lie. I think the design is really cool. What he wears, it looks like they made it look like skin. I want to say it looks like it's made of silicone. It pretty much looks like silicone. Really looks like he's wearing the dude's face, which is neat. And it's like goofy still, like there's a bit of it like to it, and I'm like, yeah. So that I was excited about too, because it's like watching Halloween. If the mask is crap, like in what was it, Halloween 4? I'm sorry guys if you liked Halloween 4. I hate the mask in Halloween 4. Wasn't a fan. Like, bring back the OG, and the newer ones did bring it back. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So shit's going down. They find out that shit went down in there. And this whole busload of people comes, and they're like, oh, fuck. You know, there's a busload of people. There's some messed up stuff going on. And there's this random other character who's like this hot, like, mechanic dude. And you're just like, is he part of the fam? He should have been part of the fam. He should have been part of Leatherface's family and should have, like, really messed around with their heads and maybe been a part of everything. But he's not. He's just some hot dude who's like, hey, what's up? Kind of weird. Anyways. So they're doing their little fiesta, showing off the property, all these Instagram people, like that. It kind of killed it for me again. I'm like, no. Keep it OG, keep it raw. But they took it there. Okay, Hollywood, you know, sometimes you gotta make it relevant, I guess. That's what newer films do. And then shit gets real. And Leatherface comes back and starts offing everyone. Okay, so another huge plus about this movie, there's so much gore. They did a great job. It's bloody. There's stuff everywhere. Also, it was kind of neat to see that the lead actresses, like, they're not your typical lead actress looks. They're still babes. They're cute. But I'm just saying, the looks they gave them, they almost tried to make them have this 70s look. Like, I found one of them looks so much, literally, like her. I'm awful, eh? She's not PG, so anyways. She looks so much like her, like the big curly hair from like the 70s, 80s kind of look with like the tied up shirt, jeans, like high-waisted jeans. It was kind of neat how they did that versus just having like, I don't know, like a Paris Hilton type. Oh my God, I just referenced Paris Hilton. Is she even relevant? I love you, Paris. No, but you guys know what I mean. Like, I'm glad they didn't make it that Hollywood, I guess you'd say. So anyways, these two girls kick some ass. They do really well in the movie. Leatherface is basically just chasing the shit out of them. It's kind of neat. Like, he's really going for them, and kind of because, yeah, you killed his mom. You told his mom that she's got to go. She has a heart attack or whatever. And of course he's pissed at them. So of course he's going to go after them. So that was kind of neat. And of course, I was waiting for it the whole time because I'm like, how are you going to make this tie back to the OG? What is it? Is the hot babe from the end that gets away gonna come back? And yeah. So of course she's like this elderly woman at this point. She's tough as shit. And she's all like ready with her shotgun lock. Move, girls, I'm gonna get him. And you're just like, whoa, she's back. That's crazy. Anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. But again, and the ending is pretty wicked. Like, it's those moments where it's like, all right. It also leaves them room to maybe continue making them if they really wanted to. I checked IMDb just for shits and giggles, and IMDb gave this movie a 4.9. I don't know if you guys remember. I look at IMDb pretty often. I always think, you know, IMDb, anything 5+ is usually fairly decent, especially when it comes to older horror. But 4.9, I was like, oof, that's rough. I would almost go like on 10. I'd give it a 6. I'd give it a 6 because it's worth watching. It's well filmed. The music, oh my God, the outro music is like this like synthwave kind of vibe, and you're like, yeah, it's super good. I'm such a nerd when it comes to that. Sorry guys. Yeah, so the music was really good. Acting was good as it can be. But it was the story, man. The story lacked so hard. But I can't get angry, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the new Halloween. You're like, well, what are they gonna do? Like, unless they get some, you know, really interesting independent writers in on this who are maybe huge horror buffs too, I don't think that, you know, we're gonna get a crazy interesting narrative / story being told to us. It's basically gonna be like spoon-fed. And it's like, all right, it was entertainment. You know what I mean? It felt like an action movie, if anything. Does that make sense? It wasn't, to me, it wasn't scary. It wasn't scary at all. It was just like, wow, a lot of stuff going on. Versus like jump scares. Anyways. So, like I said, about a 6 on 10 in my opinion for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'd be curious to know what you guys would think would be the better alternative or way to tell the story of like bringing him back, or like what you guys thought was gonna happen. I really thought that mechanic dude was gonna be like, at one point he takes everyone's keys and you're like, whoa, he's taking keys. Like, you don't take people's keys when there's like a psychopath running around. And I had this moment where I was like, yes, you know what? He might be like the crazy McConaughey freaking dude from like the second one, or like maybe he's like, you know, the dude in like the original one who's kind of like crazy in the van. Like maybe he's that, I don't want to say apprentice, but you know what I mean, like little wingman for the family. But no. And I was like, damn, like you could have, and it would have made it like, I don't know, would have made it spicier, I think. Muy caliente. Spicy, hot. Anyways. Yeah, I would love to know what you guys think and like how they could have made it better. Or if you loved it, that's awesome too. Anyways, you guys gotta wait till next week for another random horror movie that I've seen recently. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And I hope you guys have a wicked week. I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. I did a bunch of, I don't want to turn the camera, but if you look at my stories on Instagram, you can see. I did some epoxying, so I got all my Jeepers Creepers readies. And I got my brains ready, aka Tarman. Next up, I got a Freddy. And I got my Captain Howdy, who's like, hey, what about me? Anyways, I got a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna go get on that. All right, you guys, have a great night, great day, whenever you're watching this. And peace out.